So, here's your 2014 fantasy baseball draft reviews. I gotta get all this shit off my screen. Alright, we'll start off with, how about Neil? This is at the bottom. Okay, Neil made some weird picks. I think his dad was doing the draft. There were some weird picks, but like Brandon Moss in like the 7th round or something, I don't know, really early. He did hit 30 home runs last year, though. But all in all, the offense came out pretty good. He's got like Hanley, Giancarlo, Edwin Encarnacion, Zimmerman, a couple good guys there. Doesn't really have a lot of speed other than maybe D. Gordon and Hanley if he runs this year, so that could be an issue. Pitching wise, he's got Greinke and Jose Fernandez, which is pretty sweet, and then otherwise the pitching is pretty good on the lines, except he doesn't really have any closers. So I'm gonna give Neil a B. Pretty good draft after some of the picks were kind of weird. All right, Jeff. His offense is pretty sweet, but his pitching kind of blows a lot. He's got on offense. He's got Mauer, Goldschmidt, Adam Jones, Carlos Gomez, and Alex Rios. That's a sweet outfield trio. 3 kind of like good steal / home run guys, so that's pretty good. But his number 1 starter is Jordan Zimmermann, and then Shelby Miller and Andrew Cashner. I mean, there's some guys that are okay. He doesn't have any closers besides Bobby Parnell on the Mets, so I don't trust him particularly much to get a ton of saves per se. So I'm gonna give Jeff a B-, just because the pitching is just awful. The offense is pretty good, and that should help a lot, but the pitching is just not good.
I'm too sexy for my love, too sexy for my love, love's going to leave me.
Smirts. Okay, I don't love Smirts' offense. I mean, it's probably going to be fine. Like, Beltre will probably be fine as long as his leg isn't hurt. I don't like Smirts' outfield that much, but I just kind of have a thing against Jay Bruce. And then Cespedes and Kemp and Billy Hamilton are all big question marks, especially Kemp with the health. So, I mean, it's okay. There's a lot of good upside guys like Kemp and then Jose Abreu as well. Pitching-wise, it starts with Kershaw, which is great. Then it falls down to Mike Minor and Garrett Cole, a couple of younger guys. That Zach Wheeler's in there too. That, you know, they might be good, but I'm not really 100% sure. And then closer-wise, he's got Rosenthal, Frieri. So those are 2 decent guys, but it's not enough to rack up enough saves to be really well off. I'm going to give Smirts a B- because his pitching, both parts are kind of, there's some upside, but I don't really trust it too much, I guess. So I'm going to give Smirts a B-.
1, 2, 3, My baby don't mess around because she loves me so, and this I know for sure.
Sam. Sam's got a pretty good offense, pretty well balanced overall. Actually, the whole team's pretty well balanced. He's got Pujols. He bit the bullet on Kyle Seager. He's got Tulo, Cargo, Pence, who's not going to steal 20 bags again, I don't think. Holiday is always a rock. BJ Upton, that's going to kill him. You better get him out of there now. And he's got J-Roll, who's going to kill Ryan Sandberg, or vice versa. So one of them either won't be able to play because of death or because of murder charges. Pitching, he's got Cliffley and Max Scherzer is a good one too. Drafted Kimbrel. I mean, I think that's too early for Kimbrel, but he's a beast, obviously. And then the starting pitching kind of falls off a little bit. I don't really love Doug Fister. He's a better real pitcher than he is a fantasy pitcher. And Dickey, yeah. He's got a decent close, he's got Kimbrel, and then he's got David Robertson and Grant Balfour, who's pretty good. So I'm going to give Sam a B+ because he doesn't really have anywhere that's really bad. It's not crazy good. His offense, a lot of injury-prone guys, but if they stay healthy, which I guess I have to assume, sort of. I shouldn't say that because I assume that everybody else is going to get hurt. I'm going to give Sam a B+, though. About Assad. Okay, Assad, his offense is pretty good. He's got Trout and Harper, which is a big plus, obviously. Desmond is underratedly good. He's got Machado, who I think is obviously another guy that's better in real life than in fantasy, and he also has a fucked up leg. But other than that, his offense is kind of underwhelming. His starting pitching is pretty good. Chris Sale, Madison Bumgarner, and then goes down to Matt Moore and Iwakuma, and then Buchholz and Cologne at the end. I mean, that's pretty good top to bottom, not amazing. Sale and Bumgarner are a good one too, though. And then Assad is probably going to win in saves. He has Holland, Chapman, Jim Johnson, and Grilly, so that helps a lot. So I'm going to give Assad a B. He's not really really strong in any category other than saves, but he's got pretty good players throughout, and he, his closers still rack up ERA and strikeouts and all that stuff, so that helps. So that'll help in those categories. But I think his offense definitely leaves something to be desired. So what do I say? A B for Assad. John. John has a pretty strong offense. His outfield is really good. He's got McCutchen, Puig, Hayward, and then the Granny Man and Brett Gardner is kind of, but his top three are good. He's got Adrian Gonzalez, that dude, Jose Reyes, so some pretty good guys. Not amazing on offense. I mean, McCutchen will probably carry him most of the way. But overall, he's got one of the better offenses. For pitching, it starts with Wainwright, and then it goes to Tanaka and Gio Gonzalez. I don't love Gio. He's okay. Tanaka is kind of where this whole pitching staff gets good or bad. Depends on how he is. If he's like an ace-type pitcher, then John's set. But if he's kind of meh, then his pitching staff has a lot of kind of middling guys like Alex Cobb, Julio Teheran. He has a shit ton of pitchers, though. He has 3 bench pitchers, so I don't know. Maybe some of them will pay off. I mean, he's got enough there that I'll give John a B. He doesn't wow me in any category, and he could definitely get up to a B+ if Tanaka is very good. But he kind of lacks that number 2 starter, I guess you could say. And he doesn't really have much huge punch after McCutchen and maybe Puig, depending on how he does in the second year. Moreno. Okay, just because Moreno and Jerry did that trade where it was like, what, it was Verlander, Bautista, and Jason Castro for Buster Posey, Will Myers, and Felix Hernandez. Zach's team started off at a B, Moreno did, but now he's down to a B- probably. He lost Posey, who's a really good, consistent player. He dropped down in pitching from Felix to Verlander, and Felix will get wins this year, I think, because the Mariners are a little better. Bautista's a good pickup, but I don't think he's much different from Will Myers, and he's a bigger injury risk than Will Myers, so he definitely lost that trade. Starts with Braun in the outfield, and has Shin-Soo Choo as well. So Shin-Soo Choo, Braun, and Bautista has a pretty good 1-2-3 in the outfield. And he's got Votto up top. I mean, his offense is relatively strong, but the trade just hurt. His offense would have been probably the best offense had he not done that trade. Pitching, the 1-2-3 will be good. Verlander, Kane, Shields, and then he's got Nathan and Perkins, who are 2 good closers. I don't know what Jim Henderson's going to do. It's really close between a B and a B-. He definitely started at a B, and then probably fell some because of the trade. I don't know if it's to a B- or a B. We'll call it a B-+. How about that?
And just let her cry. If the tears fall down like rain.
Next up is Klein. Klein's offense is pretty damn good. He's got Crush, Kipnis, Hosmer, Pedroia, but it's not crazy considering how bad the pitching is. His number 1 starter is Matt Latos, and then Danny Salazar. His number 1 pitcher on his list, like his first drafted pitcher, was Kenley Jansen, who's good, but not nearly worth the pick that he's at. Klein probably, I mean, and he auto-picked, so it's not his fault, but he's probably got the worst team, I think, right now. I'm going to give Klein a C+. The pitching's just horrible, and the offense doesn't do quite enough for me to overcome that.
Barbra Streisand.
Then we got Jerry. Jerry on the other side of that Verlander, Hernandez, and so trade comes out a little better for it. Started at probably a B and is probably up to a B plus now. He has Posey, Prince Fielder, David Wright. His outfield, he's got Ellsbury, and then Myers. I mean, Beltran, Alex Gordon, Nelly Cruz. I mean, the outfield's not crazy good, but he's got enough there that it's a pretty good offense. And then his pitching staff is where his team shines. He starts off with Felix Hernandez and David Price, which is a great 1-2 punch, and then goes down to Homer Bailey and Jared Weaver, who are both pretty trustworthy guys. And then he's got Uehara and Cishek as closers. He probably wants one more closer to really get that going, but the two that he has are pretty good. Jerry's I'm kind of in the same range. Started at a B and is probably up to like a B plus minus as opposed to a B minus plus. So in between B and B plus. There you go.
I'm a little bit country.
And my team has too many Phillies or not enough Phillies, depending on your opinion of the team this year. Offense has Cabrera and Longo, which is good. Upton, Starling Marte. I don't know if I really like him that much, but fine. Josh Hamilton kind of is a big determining factor on whether or not this offense is good. If he's good this year, then my offense is pretty set. If not, then there's some question marks there, but it's pretty well rounded all around. Segura and Marte are there for steals, and everybody else is power bat. Pitching wise, I will go out and say that I have the best 1-2 punch with Darvish and Strasburg, closely rivaled by Cliff Lee and Scherzer, whoever had them, but close. And then Anibal Sanchez and Michael Wacha is another, and then also Cole Hamels. So Hamels, when he comes back, has the potential to be a top 10 type pitcher depending on his health. Wacha was sweet in the playoffs, so I picked him anyway. Closers, I have Papelbon, Soriano, Fernando Rodney. That's enough for saves. They're not great players, but they'll get a lot of saves, especially Soriano on the Nats. So since I'm narcissistic, I will give myself a B+, because nobody can be better than me. So I'll let them tie me, I guess.
Some people have to learn, some people wait to turn, some people but not me, yeah.
There's your 2013 draft team reviews. That is at 11 minutes. That is excessive. So I hope you enjoyed this. Really, just a ton of content. You guys, it's gonna be longer than 11 minutes too if I edit some of this. We'll see what I do. But on that note, enjoy your fantasy baseball season. This is your commissioner, signing out.